I'd say initially a couple of years ago, we wanted to have this thing happen, but actually this interaction with this game, I mean, I'd have to say we've been in talks for a little while, but physically it was probably 3 weeks ago, something like that, a month ago. But we've been in talks for a little while, a couple months. I did the facial recognition as far as putting all the, although I don't, it may have been changed since I did the original scanning about 20 years ago, but I just did the facial recognition inside of the portable trailer. I didn't do anything elaborate with the body scanning or movement. I'm hoping that they use my scan from when I was big fat Goldberg at 300 pounds as opposed to the 49-year-old Goldberg. So. Oh, I can't really speak to that, Roman. I know that this is a very big step for me in that I've been away for a long period of time, and I never saw myself being involved with it again. But along came my wonderful son and opened up the possibility of doing something with the WWE, and here to be in this situation. You know, that's a very big issue that I have to deal with, in that I'm greatly appreciative of anybody and everybody that would want me to return to the ring. But at the end of the day, it's not just my decision. So I feel as though prior to certain pay-per-views or any other matches, I have a responsibility to the wrestling business to keep the drama going. Yet I have no involvement with the business whatsoever right now. So the wrestler in me says, you know, don't go out and tell everybody the truth and that I'm not doing anything right now. Keep the anticipation open so that they can still be kids again. You know, it's part of the allure. Oh well, let's be honest. I mean, since I left the WWE, I've stayed in fairly decent shape. I mean, I went 11 3-minute rounds last week on Thursday, kickboxing. So you know, if something like that happened, could there be a possibility of me doing more than one appearance? You never know. But at the end of the day, there has to be one before there's more than one. Oh, a couple times. I think any father would be remiss in saying that he wouldn't love to fulfill a dream like that for his son, but only a couple times. You know, Sting's one of the reasons why I got into the wrestling business. So I respect and revere both him as a person and him as a character. And for him to complete his career, I think there had to be an involvement with the WWE. And to be perfectly honest with you, I haven't really watched much of the product since I left. So for me to pass judgment on his last run at the WWE would be quite unfair because I'm not really informed. All I know is that it's something that he wanted to do, and by doing it, he fulfilled a dream of his. And as far as content and programming-wise is concerned, I really don't know what even went on. I just know that I'm honored to be a part of, you know, history with 2K, and that I'm following in the footsteps of a guy like Sting. Oh, well, there's absolutely no question there are some parts of the business that I miss. And, you know, all along, people misunderstood my comments in that I wasn't a kid that aspired to grow up and be a professional wrestler, because 99.999% of my time was concentrating on being a professional football player. That's all I ever wanted to do. I mean, that was it. Beyond eating and breathing and sleeping, there was no other mission for Goldberg to attain other than playing in the NFL. So I really had no aspirations of doing anything else. When I got hurt in the NFL, it obviously completely changed my outlook, and I looked at all opportunities. And I was a fan a little bit of wrestling as a kid. I used to watch it with my grandmother all the time. But it just wasn't something that I aspired to be, because my time was more occupied with something else. Well, the kids, there's no question about it. The kids, the ability to go out and punch people in the face and kick them and not get thrown in jail. The immediate reaction and adulation you receive from the fans, and the smile on the kids' faces. At the end of the day, that's why I got into the business. It gave me the ability to change a kid's mood at the snap of a finger. So using that in a positive way, that's something that I very much miss. Oh, I think I moved on to another chapter of my life. I've been listening to people tell me what to do for a very long period of time, whether it was a football coach or whether it was someone else. I needed a break. I really did. My body needed a break. My mind needed a break. I wanted to venture off into a couple different things and kind of reinvent myself. And, you know, what wrestler does not retire with dreams, hopes, and aspirations of someday coming back? So, in retiring myself, I always thought in the back of my mind that there was a possibility of me coming back and rekindling that feeling. So now here I am. Who knows? You never say never, and you never know what's going to happen next. You just live the day and try to enjoy what you're doing and do it 100%. Things kind of work out in the end. You know, there have been so many different rumors throughout the past 10 to 12 years about me being in contact with them, and the reality is, you're hearing it straight from my mouth. I spoke to Hunter one time, I think, in the last 12 years. Never been in negotiations, just a conversation here and there, but it never went to the next level. And I think I think both of us were on the same page on that one. Ooh, that was years ago. That was not recent by any stretch. That was probably, 3 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
But I have a cordial relationship with him. I mean, things happen in the past when guys are right in the heat of the moment, and they're at certain times in their life. People end up growing up and changing and looking at things different ways. I'm very excited and very happy to be involved with WWE and 2K17. Oh, absolutely. I'm always open to talk to anybody. At the end of the day, time heals wounds. Oh, I don't think I can ever get in Goldberg the wrestler shape again, because that's. I mean, I don't think that's physically possible for a 50-year-old man. But surely for a 50-year-old or a 49-year-old man, I'm in pretty good shape. It'd take me a little bit of time. I mean, what I have to do is I'd have to completely change my training in that I'm a cardio fiend right right now, in that I kickbox all the time. I'd have to put a little bit of weight on, but I think my wife would enjoy that, cooking for me every 5 minutes. Anybody that hasn't felt the wrath of my spirit, which has not been duplicated since I left. You know, no offense to Mr. Roman Reigns, but it just shows you the difference between someone from the University of Georgia and someone from Georgia Tech. There's a distinct difference. So, you know, in my mind, anybody who thinks that I don't have it anymore, I'd like to put them on the list. And I'm sure it's a very long list. Oh, there hasn't been a day go by since he and I stepped out of that ring in Madison Square Garden when I haven't wanted to hook up with him again, for sure. Well, firstly, I must thank you and all the fans for not forgetting about me. Let's bring that up first and foremost. Whatever it was, whatever it is that brings people to chanting my name, I'm greatly appreciative of it. And I ask that not one fan think for 1 second that I am not. When I think of Ryback, like I say, I really haven't watched the product. I obviously watch my social media feeds and I see all the comparisons. Every once in a while I'll see something that he says, and I really not, it's not my business anymore. You know, I'm not involved. As far as giving a reaction or a rebuttal to someone's comments towards me, I do that every once in a while. But, at the end of the day, I'm appreciative that people would make any kind of comparison with me and somebody in the current business, you know, in a positive light. And as far as what I think of Ryback's concerned, I mean, more power to him. I hope nothing but success to him. But if he ever was in the ring in front of me, then he's got a serious problem. Oh, that I don't care about business. That the comments that I've made throughout the past are an overlying umbrella of my entire feelings, which is not the case. No matter what walk of life, no matter what business you're always going to have issues. You're going to have things that you don't like to do. That's just the way it is. And you know, we didn't see eye to eye with a couple of things back in the past, but you know, I think it was a different time of my life. Life's too short, my friend, to hold grudges and to have issues with people. And at the end of the day, my involvement with 2K, WWE 17 is for my son. Yeah. And there's no barrier in the world that is not worth smashing down so that I can put a smile on my son's face, because it runs straight in line with the best thing that I got from this business was to look at a kid, sign an autograph, shake their hand, give them a hug, and see the smile on their face. And that's priceless. And so if I could do that again to people, or if I could do that just to my son, then I've fulfilled my obligation as a man, as a father. I wouldn't have kicked Bret Hart in the head. I respect Bret. I look up to Bret. A tear comes to my eye when I even think about it. But it's for an icon like him to have had his career cut short by a mistake or an accident by myself is almost impossible to deal with. Mm-hmm. So that's truly, to me, and not to be selfish, to make myself feel better, and, you know. But at the end of the day, I wish I could take that back. Oh, there's absolutely no question. The high point was people in the Georgia Dome. The high point of that night was not having the World Heavyweight Championship belt adorned around my waist. But ironically, the best part and the pinnacle of that evening for me was the fact that at the end of the night, after I had conquered two foes and gained the World Heavyweight Championship, I was beaten down by the NWO, and lo and behold, I was saved by my former teammates in the NFL on the Atlanta Falcons. And as I was sitting in the corner, handcuffed to the ring, I was looking up in awe with the biggest smile on my face, seeing the people that I had looked up to and wanted to emulate for the past 30 some odd years of my life in these professional football players. But they were having so much fun, and they were in the moment so much, and they ironically would have done anything in the world to be me at that point, when I had, tried my entire life to be them and failed. That for me was pretty much the coolest thing that ever happened to me in the wrestling business. Yeah, that was the hardest part for me, because I'm the antithesis of what people think at times. I don't walk around all the time wanting to headbutt people and yell and scream. I am a creature that goes from 0 to 100 and back to 0 in a very short period of time. And that's very taxing on an individual. It's very difficult. It's not hard to get excited and amped up. All I got to do is pour a bottle of water on my head and headbutt a door, and I'm ready to rock. But coming back to 0 after that is extremely difficult. Yeah, I think in 5 years from now, my ability to be 275 pounds and have traps that go from my ears to my, to my shoulders is going to be a tough chore. So, like I said, man, for me, my involvement in this video game is a huge honor. If it leads to something else, which is not why I got into it, so be it, and I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it. But that's not why I got involved with this by any stretch of imagination. And like I said, you never say never.